Thank you. Today, Colorado Springs Mayor Yemi Mobalade marked his 100th day in office by delivering his first State of the City address.
News 5's Bill Folsom was there. He's in studio with more on what the mayor had to say and some of his priorities moving forward. Bill?
Yeah, the mayor started with an aggressive plan, but he acknowledges good things happening before he took office, where he wants to maintain that momentum. Then he talked about action items started since he took office, and he wants them on the radar and put into place.
Democracy is best served when people show up and speak up.
Mayor Yemi Mobalade saying the state of the city is good and will get better. He said it won't happen just because of him. He wants input from the community.
I hear you. I am listening.
In his first 100 days, he's gone to the people to get input. A young man who was homeless 3 years ago who got help from programs at Springs Rescue Mission and now has a place to live, a car, and a job with City Public Works.
And you just keep expanding upon that opportunity, creating more and more for the common man. So I think so far he's doing good, and I trust what he's doing and where he's going with the city.
The mayor says he's told again and again that parks and open space are the best asset of the city. He went to one of the citizens who stepped up helping with the creation of Panorama Park.
Mayor Yemi's come to us saying, hey, what are the best practices we can use going forward to continue this collaborative approach?
And he went to an on-patrol officer to talk about public safety.
He did a ride-along with me. He came and sat in my car all night long in the middle of the night, basically, and asked me questions about the community and what I thought, and was very open to my input.
And as we continue to grow, our voice in the decisions that impact us must grow too.
Mobalade said momentum needs to continue with programs like 2C repaving and stormwater upgrades that started before he took office. He wants to expand the value of local, state, and federal leaders working together. He says that collaboration is what secured Colorado Springs as the permanent home of Space Command. And most pressing, he says affordable housing and public safety have to be addressed.
We may not always agree with one another. We can speak respectfully, peacefully, and we can listen to one another and learn from different perspectives by having more voices at the table.
The mayor also addressed a very specific social issue. He talked about the need to support mental health in our community. He said an unhealthy mind is the root cause of many of our social crises. The mayor's family will be involved in this topic of mental health. He says it is his wife's first platform as First Lady of the city. Rob?
Bill, thank you. And in just his first 100 days, it may be hard to tell what about Mayor Mobalade's administration is new so far. Well, for that, we continue our coverage. Turn to News 5 investigative reporter Megan Cloherty in studio. Megan?
Well, Rob, Mayor Yemi Mobalade says he set himself apart in connecting with voters through listening sessions that he had across town in the last few weeks. The mayor has also stressed maintaining transparency in his administration. He's also held an open session for the media, and the focus and priorities of his administration are beginning to emerge, starting with housing. He says that he spoke with military leadership, and they're telling him they think the lack of housing is the top concern among service members. Mobalade called attention to the creation of 100 units of senior housing and the appointment of a chief housing officer to increase the affordability of the housing supply. And while voters approved Proposition 123 in November, it will be Mobalade's job to oversee how the city implements that program. Colorado Springs was the first big city to opt into the state program that allows housing providers to apply for state funds to build more housing in the so-called missing middle, specifically 2,600 new units in the next 3 years. The second emerging priority is public safety, as Bill mentioned. The mayor noted in his address that voters told him it was their top concern in his listening sessions. Mobalade says the city doesn't have enough police officers, response times have slowed, and he's focused on homelessness solutions. And finally, we're talking about that public safety. The new police training academy is a top priority for the mayor. Voter approval in November would allow the city, through a Tabor retention, to keep $4.75 million in revenue. That's versus issuing a refund that would amount to about $21 per utilities customer. The mayor says a training academy is necessary to promote recruitment and update training for our growing population.